Just 10 minutes from Malaga, there is a coastal town with beautiful beaches, hidden caves, a lost treasure and over 30,000 years of history. But here's the crazy part. It is also said to be the healthiest town in all Malaga province and the wealthiest in all of Andalucia. But somehow, hardly anyone visiting Costa del Sol comes here. Welcome to Rincon de la Victoria.
You must be wondering that how come a beautiful beachside town like this one, Rincon de la Victoria, is so quiet and why doesn't anybody visit it? Well, the clue lies in its location. Rincon lies on the eastern side of Malaga, which is the quieter side traditionally, because when the boom in tourism started in Costa del Sol, most of the resorts and the hotels, they were built between Malaga and Estepona, Marbella side. That's why we have towns like Torremolinos, Benalmádena, Fuengirola, Mijas on that side. And that is also why we have the metro line built to serve those tourist hotels and resorts, leaving this side of the corner from here to Nerja a bit quieter. It is also warmer side of Malaga. Now I understand that Nerja is a bit far. I understand that Torrox is a bit further out as well. But 10 minutes from a city which is also booming at the moment, this is a hidden corner that not many people know about, and we are sure that this is gonna boom very soon. In this video, we're gonna explore small but beautiful town of Rincon de la Victoria, explore the beaches, and see if Julian approves this beach, admire views from the beautiful viewing point that we have in Rincon. We're also gonna go to the cave where they're said to have Muslim treasures buried even today. And finally, we're going to explore the Alcantilados, which has amazing walkways, cycle paths, and beautiful sunset. You don't want to miss that.
Even though Rincon de la Victoria seems like a very small town, but it has almost 8 kilometers of beach of coastline. Straight away, one thing I love about this beach is the cliffs over there. It reminds me a bit of Nerja because we're not really that far from Nerja. I think we are around 20 minutes, half an hour away from Nerja. And this is another thing I love that I can see more and more becoming in the beaches of Costa del Sol. The gym, especially in the summer months and even in winter days as well. You can come here, do exercising, and then when it gets too hot, you can just swim to the Mediterranean Sea and refresh yourself. Today's a windy day, and you might see a few ways in here. You might see people doing surfing, which Aslam loves as well. So if we want to do surfing, this is a very good spot for it. But let's get serious now. Let's start with the sand. In terms of the sand, it's sandy, it's not rocky. However, you see a few stones here and a few bits and bits that I'm not really happy with. But again, and I keep saying this all over again, it's just the color. The color of the sand is very volcanic color. It's a bit darker than other beaches in Costa de la Luz or in Costa del Sol. I really like it to be not just sandy, but also white gold as well. Here, unfortunately, it's a bit darker, but it's not dirty. It looks really good. In terms of amenities, you have one chiringuito there are a few other chiringuitos there, and you are within walking distance to the town center. If you want to go to Mercadona, Carrefour Express, get something to eat, something to drink, it's not far at all. And one of the things I like as well about this beach is quite wide. Some beaches in Costa del Sol are a bit narrow, and I don't like that because come summer it gets really packed and very difficult for you to find a spot. But here it's quite wide, so it doesn't seem to get that busy. I want to show it to you guys because you might be thinking, Julian is crazy, Julian is too difficult with beaches. Look, you can see the stones in here, and I really don't like that. But when it comes to the water, I'm not gonna go in right now because I'm not wearing the swimwear, but there doesn't seem to be many rocks in there, so that's good. And also in terms of privacy, you have a few flats, of course, yeah, you have, but not tall buildings that you see in Torremolinos, in Benalmádena. It's not really like a resort town, it's more like a local town where people actually live and they come down to the beach with their friends and family. And overall, it's giving me a very good vibe here. It doesn't feel like a resort beach, it doesn't feel like a very busy beach, it feels like a very relaxed beach.
I agree with you, Julian, that the vibe in this area is very relaxed, very positive, because a lot of times we go in Costa del Sol and we feel like, yes, buzz. But here, it's very chilled out. And if I want to have a day out on a beach, this is the kind of beach you would be looking for because it's very peaceful. And also the sand is not too bad in my opinion. Near the water itself, there are a few pebbles, but sand mostly is fine. But like Julian said before, today is a windy day, which is very unusual in Costa del Sol. And there are only few spots that you can surf when it's windy. The Rincon de la Victoria is one of them.
So does it get the stamp of Julian's approval for summer 2026? It has 8 kilometers of beaches. It has clean sand, even though it's not the color I want, but it's very good. It has a nice vibe, good amenities. It doesn't feel like a resort beach, it feels more like a local beach. And I love this. It's just this picture here with the cliffs. I just love it. So yes, I'm happy to announce that this beach is a beach I will visit and I will stay here with my friends and family this summer 2026.
Talking about beaches, let me tell you a very interesting fact. Virgin del Carmen is patron saint of fishermen, and Rincon de la Victoria has traditionally been a fisherman's village. And on Dia del Carmen, which is 16th of July, every year, they take out the Virgin through the streets of Rincon de la Victoria and onto a boat and in the water to bless the waters for the safe return of the fishermen. And the whole scene is represented in this corner. What a beautiful day. And there are people in the water and I can actually think about going in the water. It's about 23 degrees and we are in the early May. Wow. Loving the rock formation first of all on the top. And then you have beautiful benches, Gaudi style benches, where you can sit down and admire the view of the whole town in front of you.
This is a very symbolic and powerful corner. Regardless if you are religious or not, you can feel its power here. You can see the Virgin Mary with the fresh flowers. Locals bring here to pay respect to the Virgin. You can see the boats representing the fishermen. I can feel the power, I can feel the energy in this beautiful spot. It's a lovely spot, not just to learn about history or admire beautiful views, but it's also a lovely spot for you to chill and enjoy the nature around you. And one thing I just noticed is the fishing net. You can see the fishing net just hanging over there, also helping to protect you from the sun in these very hot summer days. It's beautiful. Look at all this. Rincon de la Victoria is really growing on me, and we haven't really shown you that much yet, but it's just beautiful. It's a very postal card town.
We're gonna come back to the town, but first, let us take you to the most beautiful spot in this town, the caves. The amazing caves are only 20 minutes walk away. Keep in mind, it's a bit hilly. So either you can take the car for 5 minutes, or like us, just go up 20 minutes walk.
So if you decide to make Rincon de la Victoria your home, or if you decide to visit Rincon de la Victoria, keep in mind there are a few hills, but you will be doing some exercise and you will admire these beautiful views of the Mediterranean Sea. Look at that. I mean, if I live in one of these apartments, one of the things I will be doing most of the time is just admire the view.
I'm liking the layout of the town. You have nice little shops around the commercial area, green beds, and you have bus stop in the main avenue, beach just around the corner. Living here is a great life, and it feels very Spanish lived in town, because a lot of times in Costa del Sol, we don't find this very often, that you have lived in feeling that not many tourists, temporary people that are here there for just on holidays and then disappear. You make friends and then they disappear. Rincon does feel like a typical Spanish town, which could be any suburb of Madrid, but with a beach. And it's a very healthy lifestyle. Look at that, they're biking, and I'm sure there's a beautiful road going through by the Mediterranean Sea, throughout up to Nerja. The housing stock in Rincon de la Victoria seems to be very good, because I've seen it before coming here, that there are villa-style houses all around, especially because Rincon de la Victoria is on the east side of Malaga, not far from the posh side of Malaga, which is El Limonar, and recently very popular area of El Palo. And the theme continues here. There are apartments, lots of apartment stocks, but also they have amazing stock of villas around this area.
and we have finally arrived to Cueva del Tesoro. On this side you have the famous Cueva del Tesoro, which is the more touristic one, and on that side you have Cueva de la Victoria, which you can only access when you pre-book, and it's a bit more for the adventurous people, so you need to be guided and you need to wear the helmet, etc. Here you can just go for a walk in the afternoon with your friends and family. It's quite easy, and it's only €6 per person per adult, unless you do it first thing in the morning and 10:30, which is free Monday to Friday. This is where the history of Rincon de la Victoria starts. This is a very specific cave as well because it's a combination of continental and marine water.
Prehistoric humans were living here. In fact, even before Homo sapiens, Neanderthal occupied this space. About minimum, they say 41,000 years ago, dated back, they found tools and their carvings and the paintings on the walls. But it is also said that it could be up to 75,000 years old of history of humans here. There are lots of steps, but of course they have a glass lift as well. So if you have disabilities or if you struggle going down and up the steps, you can still come here and enjoy this beautiful cave.
I'm trying to find the drawing, the ancient drawing, but I can't really see many of them. Actually, none of them. I think it's more on the other cave that you had to make an appointment. This is more like for you to explore the caves, but if you want more kind of history, archaeological findings, I think that's the one you need to reserve. But we haven't finished yet. Let's explore a bit more. Oh, look at this. Have you ever seen the movie Dune? It reminds me of like one of the little houses or palaces. The cave got its name, Cueva del Tesoro, or the Cave of the Treasure, because it is said that the Moors came here in the caves and they hid a treasure. And that story or that legend that that treasure is hidden here became more and more popular in the 20th century. So can't you imagine? Right now, a big treasure could be hidden here.
This is where it ends, I think. And I can see that there is a big hole going down. So this is where the part where we can access ends, but the cave continues.
When you go here to this is like the middle section, it feels like we are in a UFO, inside of a UFO with all the lights. But this is not just it. When you come to this middle area, you can either turn left or right. We're gonna explore this part now. Oh, I can hear water. Look, sparkly. That's like marble kind of thing, isn't it? Wow. Look at that, it's like a natural spa. Wow. Wow. This is just out of this world. It feels like we are in a 5-star resort spa right now, isn't it? Especially with the way the rocks are formed, like very smooth and beautiful.
Wow. I don't know why people don't put this location in one of the top 10 things to do when you come and visit Malaga. Perfect time to leave the cave. It's starting to cool down at 6 o'clock. Now we're going to explore the town. But if you're coming to visit the cave, just opposite is a beautiful restaurant, La Calisa. They have amazing terrace with stunning views, overlooking Rincon and the Mediterranean Sea.
At least this time we are going down the hill. Look at these balconies here. Just imagine having a coffee in the morning, or when you have friends and family over, entertain them with amazing meals or even playing board games. Wow. And we didn't think it could get any better. Look at the coastline over there.
Before we show you the town center, let me quickly show you one of my favorite viewing points, not just in Rincon de la Victoria, but also in all over Costa del Sol. It's just around the corner here. Look at that. Isn't this amazing? A view like that with those palm trees and this coastline. Oh. Oh, there are lots of people surfing right now. Look at that.
From here, you can see how big Rincon de la Victoria is, and it's not really that big. And one thing I love about Rincon de la Victoria is that it's not that commercialized yet. When you go to other places like Fuengirola, Torremolinos, Malaga, I love them. And I hope I don't offend many people by saying this, but they are a bit more commercialized because it's a lot of nightclubs, lots of beach clubs, etc. This feels more lived in, more local. And also this is a very romantic place if you come with a loved one, especially at sunset time or even at night. We have been here at night and all the lights lit up. It gives you a very beautiful view.
Wow, we're going down to the city now. What a beautiful view. There are kids running on the beach and this amazing, magnificent view. Oh, those people surfing right now, they are literally calling me. Look at that. Okay, this is the promenade, and behind this hill is the Alcantilados, which is a beautiful point for running, cycling, and it's a beautiful path by the sea. We're gonna go back later on, but before that, let's check out the town.
I love being outdoors and I love exercising outdoors, especially if you do it with people, with your friends and family. And when you live along the coast, or even in Spain, there's a big expat community and you can get together with other people who live here and you go running together, you go walking together. There are lots of groups, and it's not just for expats, it's for locals as well living here. So if you're thinking of coming to Rincon de la Victoria or visiting, it would be a great idea to join a running club to make new friends.
I love Spanish coastal cities because they have beautiful promenades built in throughout, and they have filled with bars like this one. They have chiringuitos, they have kids play area, they have exercise areas, and it's like a focal point for the town or the city because they all come down in the evening to the promenade. It's everybody together. Some people enjoying in the bar, some people exercising, some people running, others just walking with their family.
I am Sylvia Ballesteros. I'm a Dutch woman, but my father was a Navy man, and he went to Malaga airport, and then he saw my mother, Malagueña, from Plaza de Toro, Malagueta, and he married with her. He took her to Holland. My mother decided to buy a house, and she went from Malaga, but Malaga, she didn't like it, and she went to this side. Not to the other side, to Torremolinos, Carihuela, but this side. And this was 45 years ago, and it was a village from pescadores. It is a real, where you can eat the best fish and meat, and it's still authentic. And I love it, I love it. My heart is here. And 45 years ago, we were the only Dutch people living here. It has changed in the mountains, yeah. And of course, everybody wants a house. Yeah. And but it's still authentic. It's a lot of Spanish people from Malaga had second house. Yes. Also from Cordoba, Madrid, yeah. Because in summertime it's very hot. I love it here. A special place in my heart. So if I have 2 times a year of vacation, then I come. Yeah. To Rincon.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lovely meeting you.
That's what I mean about Spanish lifestyle. You bump into strangers you never met before and you make new friends along the way. You can go to a bar as well. People will join you in conversation. It's very easy to engage in conversation and exchange your experiences of growing up or visiting this wonderful part of Spain. You see, this is what I was referring earlier on, a group of friends. They probably didn't know each other a few weeks ago, but now they got together to go running on the beach and doing healthy exercises while building a very strong and new friendship. And now we are leaving the beautiful promenade and heading into the beautiful town centre. And straight away, you're welcome with these drawings. We saw earlier on one representing Virgen del Carmen and protecting the fishermen. Here you can see the balcony, it's a typical Spanish terrace or balcony. And right here you have the city hall, very small but very petite.
Within Rincon de la Victoria, you can walk everywhere. You don't need a car here. That's one of the most beautiful things about Spanish town centers, that the cost of cars is cut out. Okay, the fortress I was talking about is just around the corner here, and this was built here. It might look like it's an odd thing out here, but imagine hundreds of years ago, actually 1776 when it was built, there was nothing around here, not even a promenade, not these buildings, just raw natural beauty. This fortress was built to protect against the pirates that would attack this area, and also the British Navy back in the 18th century when it was trying to conquer different parts of the world. And this fortress would communicate with the tower that we were earlier on, either them or this fortress. Whoever sees the invaders coming in, they would signal the other party. Today, it's not a defense fortress, it is an exhibition center which exhibits the past years and the history of this area.
We are on our way to our favorite viewing point in all Rincon de la Victoria. As you know, Aslam and I, we love a good viewing point to admire the beautiful sunset. And right now, just seeing that coastline with people at the beach, people here in the promenade, it's giving it a beautiful picture. But just wait until we get there, because if you think this is good, what we're going to show you is a lot better. It will take your breath away.
We are back in the Playa del Rincon de la Victoria, and the special area we were talking about is just behind that hill, and through that hill is a tunnel, and that tunnel actually was once part of a train line. Yes, you heard it right. There was actually a train line connecting this part of Malaga, and it would connect from Malaga city center all the way to Vélez Malaga side. But where is the train now? Why isn't it there now? Because it would make sense to have train line in this side to connect all of these little towns. The train line was built in 1908. It was a narrow gauge train line. It was much slower. So when they made the highways A7 and AP7 running through these areas, it made the whole journey a lot more faster and made the train line redundant. So they stopped using the train line. Otherwise, it was part of the coastal train line which ran all the way through the coast. Imagine having this coastal trail line once again, seeing one beach to another beach. How amazing would that be? I like this part of Rincon because it's very naturally beautiful, and also you have amazing views from this alcantilado. It's a walkway.
Now I understand why they call this place one of the healthiest ones in all Malaga, because look at all the coastal walk. You see lots of people jogging, you see lots of people on bikes, you see lots of people going for long walks. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that over there. It's gorgeous.
So I get that the lifestyle can be very healthy and it does not cost you much or anything at all to be healthy. This is your running track by the sea air, which Julian told me earlier on that is quite healthy for your skin. So people do look better. People exercise here. They eat well because we are not in the tourist hotspots here. You can go to chiringuitos, you can go to promenade restaurants, and that's not going to cost you much. And look at that. That tunnel keeps going through. It's so beautiful. That area, or the Cala you see over there, that's also part of Rincon de la Victoria, which is called La Cala de la Moral. It's just mesmerizing. I can stand here for hours.
This is a part of Costa del Sol that hasn't changed over the years. Of course, you will see a few more houses in the hills. Of course, you will see a few more shops. Its soul, its surroundings has remained the same. And that's something that people from Rincon de la Victoria should be proud. This is the reason why they are the healthiest in all Costa del Sol, because look, this is the third time we've been here in Rincon de la Victoria, but we have never been this far exploring the, let's call it the walkway or the senda litoral. Wow. Oh, so you're getting 100% raw reactions because we've never seen this before. You can be on that side of Costa del Sol and then come and explore this other part of Costa del Sol and you will have different experiences. That's why Costa del Sol is so unique because it's so diverse. Just within an hour's drive, you have beach clubs, nightclubs, luxury, you have Ferraris driving around, and then you come to this other side, there is nature, caves, kayaking. It's beautiful.
So beautiful and peaceful. I'm loving this part of Rincon de la Victoria, which is also called la Cala de Moral. You have a wide sandy beach, it's very peaceful. There's more suburban feeling here. They're more like settled people live here. And one of the claims that Rincon de la Victoria claims is per capita is one of the wealthiest municipalities in Malaga province, which it is one of the wealthiest, not the wealthiest, because you also have Benahavis and Marbella. The study that claimed that Rincon de la Victoria is the wealthiest municipality in Malaga province used specific metrics. And those metrics are that percentage of population owning their own home. It's not necessarily about the richest or the wealthiest people living in the area, that how much wealth they have accumulated. It's more about the number of population or the percentage of population is well off. And they found that a lot of people living in Rincon de la Victoria area, they own their homes first of all, and there are not many poor areas in the area. There is a very stable middle-class household here and no extreme inequality. These are the reasons that make Rincon de la Victoria such a vibrant and beautiful place that people enjoy and live here and prosper. Okay, I'm a estate agent and the prices seem to have gone up a lot since we came here 2 years ago, because at that time, I remember, I thought this is a great value for money, but now looking at the prices for a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment, you're looking at between 350 to 500,000 euros. And I've checked it online as well, not just the estate agent, and the prices are about 10% cheaper than Estepona, I would say. In my opinion, it is definitely suited for somebody who is looking to raise a family here, because as you can see, it's past 9:30 just now, and it seems to be a bit quiet, which is great for a lot of people, but it's not something that we are looking for.
Rincon de la Victoria is a beautiful place. We had a wonderful day here. If you're thinking of visiting Rincon de la Victoria, don't expect the party vibe you see in Marbella, Fuengirola, Torremolinos. It's a more calming vibe, it's a more family orientated, surrounded by beautiful nature, but still not far away from Malaga, about 10-15 minutes drive. But if you're considering moving here to Rincon de la Victoria, it's a very good decision because it's a very family-oriented town, very quiet, easily walkable. You can walk from one extreme to another and doing exercise, and you have everything you need in one place. I would definitely consider Rincon de la Victoria for a place to move to. However, because I'm more inclined into the Cadiz area, because that's where my family is, we are further out. But if my family wasn't in Cadiz, this is a town I would definitely consider. We really enjoy the time here with lovely people, lovely nature, wonderful history. We will surely be back with our friends and family to show this beautiful town. But next week, we have a surprise for you. We are actually leaving this part of Andalusia and we are venturing into Costa Blanca. We're gonna experience it firsthand and share it with you all. So stay tuned, a lot to come. We will see you next week from those amazing locations in Spain. Hasta luego.